Hi guys, welcome to episode 2022. This is VchiBanter with Buff Up Me, Candy, Rose, and Shia. That's us. Thumbs up.
Everything is normal and exactly as it always is.
Yep, no one looks any different.
And nothing is different. Audio
Nothing
listeners,
is different.
nothing is different. Don't look at the YouTube.
Nothing's changed.
Actually, yeah, it's not a secret. It's all normal.
Yep,
Yeah.
everything looks the same.
Candy's really hot, though, just in general. Nothing new.
You do smell a
I'm
bit
not.
different today, Candy.
I'm
You
wearing
do
a
smell
sweater.
different.
It makes me sweat.
You
That's
smell
why they call it a
dusty.
sweater.
Oh.
That I would actually, no, I don't smell dusty because I would be dead. So
That's
True.
I'm just
true.
the dust. So pick a different thing, okay?
You smell not dusty.
You smell musty.
Hey now. I love the way that you smell, Candy.
Hang your
Did we
Oh, we're
already
doing the
go over
flirting early,
that I
are
have
we?
a bag of your clothes that I smell from time to time? I think we talked about that. Yeah,
I think we did.
it's great. It's funny how it just like keeps your scent when it's all just like, closed into a small bag.
So you smell Candy's clothes, and Buff smells a little bag that had stuff that smelled like me in it. Are you guys okay?
No.
They're furries.
I just miss my friends.
You
Well, I don't
literally
like-
drove to my fucking apartment like a week ago and knocked on my door to wake me up. I'm
That's true. And I'll do
literally
it again.
drive
I'm
away.
going to do it again in a couple days, actually. I just
Yeah.
haven't
In
told
a
you
couple
yet.
days?
Yeah.
What?
I haven't told you yet.
What?
You'll find out when I wake you up.
But I want to
That's gonna be good.
sleep. Tell me if you're going to wake me up.
Well,
Nope, it's a surprise.
Well,
A surprise? You have a surprise for me?
I don't know. Whatever Shia's got
Uh,
planned.
I
You
got
got a
some things
surprise for
planned.
me? Like what?
Guys, how is everyone feeling? How's if you were
Concerned.
going to wake up to a surprise, what would you want it to be?
A gun.
None. I don't like
Wow.
surprises.
You don't like surprises?
At all?
No, I like being told things. I'm pretty open to being told things. Even if you were like, Candy, we're going on a surprise trip to Disneyland, I would cry and be really upset because I need time to plan.
No, I
I
get
can't
that.
spring shit on me.
That is true. That's happened before.
Mm-mm.
Oh, exception, that one
Mhm.
time the Buff stole a tiny little treat from a bar and gave it to me.
First of all, I didn't steal it. Okay, it was free. It was like complimentary. Second of all, okay, you
It was
had
a
like
neat
4
magic
of them.
trick too.
You had like 4 of them, so I hid it behind my back. And then when we were
I'm
hanging
a
out,
dog.
yeah, I hid it behind my back, and I was like, yeah, la la la. And then we got on the bus, and I gave it to you, and I was like, look at this thing. What do you think?
I'm open to that kind of surprise.
I get that. I like surprises if they're like presents, but I don't like surprises if they're like going to do something because, like you, I want to prepare.
I think I
Yeah.
like surprises, but I'm initially very anxious about them.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because I think that there's a part of me that wants to be able to prepare as well. But like, if it's something that incurred like going on a trip or something, I'm like, well, I'm okay. Like, I think it depends.
I think the
I have
worst
a
surprise.
thesis
Yes, what's
from
your
several
thesis?
minutes ago. I think furries are scent motivated. That's all I had to say. Go on, Rose.
No. I want to stick to that. What?
I just Buff
because
is
of,
really
like, how
sensitive about
people
how she smells,
Uh-huh.
and then Shia is a fiend. So I feel like
That's true. I think it's because, like, animals are. Like, when dogs are going for a walk, they sniff the other dog's ass and all that stuff. Like, it makes sense. So, of course, people who resonate with that and furry shit are going to be like,
what?
I think
you know?
that they're just a majority, like 90% gay community that want to get in each other's crevices and just smell each other. I think that that's
Is that common with gay guys?
Yes, I would say that one of the
Do you
more
like it?
common things between, and I mean, correct me if
Wow,
I'm wrong,
Rose
gays,
has called
but
you gay, Shia.
correct me if I'm wrong.
Shia fucks
But
dogs, what do you
I think that
mean?
one of the more common things that you'll find between like, especially like men is odor indulgence.
But Shia,
So does that resonate with
how
you?
many of them were also furries?
How many what?
How many of the gay guys were furries as well?
Oh, well.
A lot of them? Well,
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay, wait. Gay guys in the comments, can you please tell us if this is like a thing?
Yeah, but also, like,
Do you
are
like
you guys
scent?
like, are you guys just saying furries just act like animals, like 24/7 all day, every day? Like,
I
is
don't
that what
think
you're
that.
saying?
No.
Then
It's time to talk
to
about
me,
the
this
litter
doesn't
box.
make any sense.
What?
Ew.
What?
Because that's what you're implying. You're like, oh, because they're furries, they just like have this like animal instinct that they're gonna smell each other. And I'm like, they're still people. Like, like
No,
it's still
okay,
like a
so
person.
my logic on that is like, okay, as someone who is, as the only person who's not a furry on this table and probably needs something like some of the shit explained to her. To me, when I think about furries, I think like they connect with either the design or they connect with the animal. So the people who connect with the animal might be inclined to be attracted to the habits that would be in line with whatever their fursona is. Like, if you're a dog or something, you like people who smell nice. Or if you're a cat, you're really picky about who's like affectionate with you, or like things like that. You know, it's more like picking the persona because you already resonate with those things, not because you think you're an animal. Because people know they're not animals.
Makes me think of those kids like in high school that run on all fours, and they're like, "I'm gonna eat grass because I'm a horse." Like that's what I feel like you're implying.
No, God, no, that's just
I
crazy.
just said I think furries and really liking to smell stuff correlates, and then I'm gonna refuse to elaborate or back that up with facts. Fuck it, I just said it. Enjoy. I'm done.
Oh,
that's the statement. I'm not
That's
arguing.
but
I'm not
Candy,
on
we're
Twitter.
on a podcast. You have to hit every single corner of the argument, or it is invalid.
It's okay,
about
they can fight in the
1,000 different
comments.
things. Oh no, I was about to say some. I could just. I'm good. I'm feeling
No,
good.
say it, coward.
No, it's better if I don't.
God, I'm so curious now.
No, I was just like, what's like the most inflammatory thing that I could say? And
Okay,
then I
never
was
mind.
like,
Stop.
That's why I was like, no,
Never mind.
like
Never
let's not
mind.
let
No.
Candy off a leash.
No
Put me on
more.
a leash. Make me
But I
bark.
want to be on the leash.
Furry.
Okay,
Well.
the furry episode.
Speaking of covering everything, can I want to note on a comment that someone left on episode 20 of our podcast.
Yes.
Oh my God, Shia.
Because that was that was the episode that we had Mousy on. Love her. But at one point we were talking about taking, what was it, full body showers, or it was around that time that we also were talking about
Just hands.
we were talking about it was men not touching their buttholes or like wiping properly and like leaving skid marks. And I never leave skid marks. No matter what. And somebody
That's because you wash yourself out with a bidenema.
Well, I haven't had a bidet my entire life, so I can attest to this never being a thing. I've never had skid marks, but someone left a comment, and I quote, says, I feel like, as a man, I need to defend this. You can still get skid marks in your underwear even after wiping with toilet paper. No matter how good you wipe with toilet paper, you can still get skid marks. Unless you're using a bidet or wet wipes, it's very hard to completely clean back there with just toilet paper. It has nothing to do with us not wanting to touch our buttholes. And I couldn't disagree more that I don't know what kind of toilet paper or what method you're using, but I don't regularly have skid marks. I cannot remember the last time that I looked, and I was just like, damn, I'm like, wow, what a streak. Like,
Also,
why is that
sorry,
happening?
I know that I'm a woman, but I'm offended for the men on this side because literally,
me too.
are you just
This guy
telling,
does not
are you just
speak for
telling
us.
men? Yeah, I was gonna say, you're just telling men that you're just dirty animals. Like, you're like, yeah, like as a man, like we just suck at wiping our ass. Like, what the fuck is that?
They don't have enough fiber in their diet. It's not coming out clean. It's
I was
so
gonna say,
wet
it
liquid
sounds like you're
mess
just
back
not
there.
done shitting.
It sounds like you don't fucking care about your asshole. That's what it sounds like. Because, like, me wiping compared to Shia wiping, there's no difference. If anything, I think it would be harder for me because I got a fat ass. Which Shia does also have a fat ass. But I'm just saying that, like, you think I would have the bigger issue.
Yeah, it's also implying that before bidets or even like wet wipes or anything other than just wiping your butt in like any kind of regular way implies that people just always walk around with poopy butts. And then it's just like a fact of the matter. Like, you're going to have a skid mark at the end of the day. And that is a life I've never lived. Like, I don't know where that came from.
Ew,
You need to finish
what the
shitting
fuck?
and finish wiping before you get off the toilet. Okay?
What are you, the parent?
I fucking would rather not be.
You're
No,
shitting
thank
yourself.
you.
Well, the cool thing about
You're shitting yourself. Not yet.
the cool thing
love
about
that
some
video.
men is that they you remain mothering them regardless of how old they get. That's the cool thing about dating guys sometimes.
Ew.
Girls, I guess,
Mm.
but
That's cool.
this is called sarcasm, Rose. Just letting you know.
I know. But
Also, speaking
Just
of
checking.
skid marks and shitting yourself, there's one story that we haven't told on the podcast that Shia and I were a part of with our best friend Sozin.
Oh, boy.
So we were at, funny enough, we were at a furry convention, okay?
I'm
and
sorry,
it was
Sozin.
in Vegas.
Before
All
you
right?
get into this too, I wanted
Yeah.
to just remark real quick that we talked about that as if, some of us here at the table, Buff and I haven't been going to furry conventions for like 15 plus years. We are very well aware. We are not breaching this subject with little to no knowledge. I would say that we have very in-depth knowledge on this.
Yeah, so it was crazy. So we were in this line to go get food, and it was like a breakfast thing or whatever. And it was Shia, Sozin, and I, and we're all just like standing there. We're all like la la la, whatever. There's like 2 or 3 people in front of us, like waiting for food, and then we like are talking, and then out of fucking nowhere, the guy that's in front of us, he just rips ass like so fucking loud, like it's like, and we just look at each other and we're like. And we all had to walk away because we were laughing so fucking hard that we actually had to leave our spot in line because it was so bad. And then
We took a
Sozin
step
the
back
entire
for
time.
sure.
Yeah, and then Sozin the entire time was like, I can't believe that guy just shit on me. He just fucking shit on me. Like, because because when people fart, there's like a dust cloud of just like fecal matter. So like that guy literally shat on Sozin in line. And it was so loud. It was the loudest I've ever heard in my entire life. And I just can't believe. And this guy, no reaction. No reaction. It
No,
just like
you know what he
happened.
did next, right?
What?
He just turned around and started chatting with us.
No, but he started chatting with Sozin in particular. It wasn't even just us. It was Sozin because Sozin was picking up his food. And the guy comes up and he's like, so you enjoying the convention so far? And then Sozin's like,
Dude, he just
Yeah,
like
I
shit all over
guess.
Sozin and then turned around and was like, so hey, how are you guys doing? Like as if he didn't just shit all over us.
dude, it was crazy. Oh my
Oh,
God.
memories.
Ew.
Like I said, in-depth knowledge on furry conventions. We've been shit on.
Holy.
Just
We've been
wait
I'm
shit
never
for
on.
going to a
breakfast.
furry convention.
Oh.
No.
Oh, we're gonna
Neither.
make you go to one.
I don't want
It's
to
gonna
get
be great.
shit on, please.
Well,
They
that's
don't
just
they don't
that just
fucking
means
shit
they
on you
like
the
you.
entire time. Yeah.
I don't care if it's
Yeah.
a part of the time. I don't want it.
I think if you go to any convention, I think someone's shitting on
Yeah.
you regardless.
Well, if you've
Well.
ever been outside the house, people just fart. I think there's like heat cameras or something that they put in like.
Oh, audio listeners will not understand what just happened.
No. The noise you just
I'm
made.
trying not to yoke at my fucking GamerSupps because I literally
Use code VchiBan and check out for 10% off. Go on.
drinking. I was drinking and my tracking like freaked out and it like pushed me forward. I don't know what happened. That was great.
You just went like, I've never heard a sound like that come out of you.
Sorry, I just caught me so off guard. I'm gonna fix myself.
No, it's fine. I wasn't complaining. I think it's
Oh my
amusing.
Oh my god.
I think they put heat based cameras in a mall or something like that, and they track people farting, and it was just like lots of people. People just
Ew.
fart.
Whoever did that has a fart fetish. I refuse to believe otherwise. There's no way.
Guys, you know what would be cool? We could study people's farts. Yeah, let's set up cameras so we can see them, and then we'll take samples and sniff them afterwards and see who had the craziest one from after they ate at the food court.
We can stop the podcast at episode 22 if we want. I'm just saying.
We could stop it.
Yeah, we could just stop right
First season
This
is
episode's
done.
21.
Okay.
now. Oh, that'd be fun to do like seasons of the podcast. It'd be like season 2. Now we
Okay.
have a robot that flies around and says hi to us every second.
Well, people typically do
Every
that so you can
second.
take like a
Yeah.
break.
Goes hi. Hi.
You know, you do like a whole season, take a break, then come back with another season.
That makes
So
sense.
why would you take a break?
Let's discuss this live on the
Okay.
podcast. So, what about seasons? What do we think? Yes, no?
Buff's a workaholic. She would die if we took off.
Well,
true.
I feel like the way that we're doing it at the moment, I don't know if we've told people how we're doing it. Is it a secret?
Like how
No,
often
we just never
we
talked
record?
about it.
Yeah, because we record like, I'll just say it. I'll expose it.
Oh my God.
Say it, Kindy,
We
say it.
record. We record
Spoil
2
it.
episodes on one day, so we basically have one recording
Yeah, every
day
other week we
a
record.
fortnight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
So-
yeah.
recording every week would just endure a lot more. With our setup, I mean, it takes a while, sometimes hours, to get in to even start because we have so many technicals and things that could go wrong, and usually things do go wrong with them being like, you know, multiple point, like full body tracking, and then we have our new hairstyle Candy here, which you know, of course, I mean, what we're only like, you know, we're at the very beginning of this recording, but like still, like I think that we all set up and started nearly 2 hours ago, which is crazy. So, and doing that every week compared to doing it every other week is just something to help maintain our sanity.
Yeah, when I was in LA with Shia, we were talking to another YouTuber that does like a podcast and stuff like that, and I was talking to them, and they were talking about how they were like, oh yeah, we record like this day, and then we do like the Patreon content, and then we do this. He's like, I'm like recording like 4 times a week, and I literally was like, oh, like we record like every other week, and then like I'm like, and then why don't you do your Patreon content like every other week? And then he was like, oh, that's a good idea. I was like, yeah, that's like that's really what we do. I mean, like, you know, there's other people involved. I think that depending on what their schedule is, I'm sure that they, you know. But
I think
I'm also a little
jealous
that they can just walk in and be like on camera and be like, okay,
their
setup is turn on a
set.
camera that is like set in place, and then that like ready to go, baby.
Yeah, they're not VTubers, so like it's a lot easier for them to do that.
I also think though with work, it becomes like the frog in a boiling pot scenario where you just keep adding stuff and adding stuff and adding stuff, and then you don't even realize how much work you're doing until somebody out of the picture says like, oh, what if you did this way? And you're like, oh yeah, I guess that would work, because if it's functioning, like why would you change how you're doing it if it's currently working, even if there's a better way to do it?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like we have those conversations a lot where one of us will be doing something and you're like, why don't you do that? And you're like, oh,
that's me with you and coloring in Clip Studio, but I know that you like to color because it's a mental,
it's therapeutic.
Nice thing.
It's nice. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like coloring the lines, like a little coloring book. Makes me happy.
That makes sense.
My chat asks me to make you learn how to do the fast coloring method, and I'm like, there's nothing to teach. She knows.
Yeah, but like I know how to do it. I just don't want to do it. Like I think it's more therapeutic for me to like just sit there and color it, because I'm like and like get a 9 in. So because I feel like the line art, this is like where Candy and I disagree when it comes to art. I feel like the line art and coloring are like my favorite parts. And Candy hates both of those.
I hate art in general though, so I hate it the whole time.
What is your favorite part? Oh,
of
never
art,
mind. My favorite part is coloring. I don't like doing line art. It's annoying as fuck. Sketching and coloring is where it's at.
What's your favorite part of art, Shia?
I don't do 2D art. I do 3D.
You do 3D art.
I do 3D. I don't talk about it like a whole lot, like as like, because I don't know. I don't like amp myself up as like an artist, but I think that I do pretty good when I have one of you guys or just like a concept artist that gives me something. You're like, make this, and I'm like, okay, bet I can do that, like easy peasy. Like kind of coming up with things in general in 3D. It's like I can do, but it's a hell of a lot slower.
That's so valuable to be as an ideas guy who likes to be like, make something like this, and then you do it, and I'm like, you're so sexy.
Yeah, I like doing environment art. I've tried to make some characters before, and they've turned out very ugly. Very ugly.
Characters are hard.
I feel like I could practice more with them, but I feel like I'm just kind of honing skills towards more of like environment and buildings and stuff like that. I have a lot more fun making objects than I do making people or creatures, even though I love creatures and monsters. I'd just rather someone else do it that is really good at it, and then I'll do the thing that I'm good at.
Absolutely. I think there's value in like identifying where your strengths are and then just leaning into that, because it's even like professional artists, some are literally just hired to do like a specific kind of character design or a specific thing. Like don't try and I don't think you don't have to be able to do everything.
Well, I mean, I think that's why we work together really well. Like flashbacks to when we made Meet Your Oshi, which is a FNAF style game that we did. And I did the environments. And then when I was putting in lighting, I think I was talking with Candy and Buff at the time. And they were like, well, what if you change this to a light green and then this to a red? And like one of the sections, specifically the bathroom renders, I don't know why the bathroom looks so damn good, but it turned out that damn good because you guys had input on the lighting. Like as artists, we're just like, hey, what if you change this and do that? And it just like, oh, it just looks so good. I was really happy how it turned out.
It also helped with like I went through like every single picture and I like shaded all and like put lighting in, and like so that definitely helps too. I think
the polishing
just all of us being able Yeah, us being able to just like creatively do things that each other can't do, like helps us where we're lacking in those spots.
Yeah.
Oh, hey there. I'm sure you're wondering why I'm standing up and why I have this beautiful screen in front of me. It's actually because I want to tell you about Fansly. If you guys don't know, Fansly is a super awesome website that we work with and we have a lot of our behind the scenes content with. Fansly wants us to let you know that you can go to fansly.com/VTubers and check out a whole bunch of content creators that are kind of like us. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of content creators on there and you have to be 18 plus to sign up. Sometimes I look at some weird stuff on Fansly and it's pretty fun. You can see all the content that we do here. Very spicy stuff. So go check out Fansly, okay? Now back to the podcast episode.
So, can you tell me why we park in driveways but we drive on parkways?
What the hell is a parkway?
It's like a
you asked the wrong person.
It's like you're going on the highway, but people call it the parkway.
What's a highway?
Okay, wait. I'll give you a different one. I'll give you a different one. If you clean a vacuum cleaner, then aren't you the vacuum cleaner?
No, you're the vacuum cleaner.
Why would you be a cleaner?
You're the vacuum cleaner.
Do you call your vacuum cleaner a vacuum cleaner or just a vacuum?
A vacuum, but it's technically a vacuum cleaner.
So why would it be a vacuum cleaner?
I can't clean my vacuum.
Because you're cleaning the vacuum
dust?
cleaner.
Oh
yeah, Candy would die.
Let's try a different one, Shia. You're 2 for 2 on things I can't answer. Because I don't.
What do you think the first person that tried to milk a cow was trying to do?
fuck it.
Oh my god!
I'm just being honest. Like, how do you think it got there?
I feel like they saw the baby calves get strong and they're like, that could be me for real.
I'm gonna get strong.
Yeah.
I think you guys are overthinking it. I think they literally were like, booby milk good. That is cow booby. Cow is drinking it and not dying.
I'm sorry. Did she say
It's okay, Candy. It's fine.
That's not what you said.
Yes, it is.
You said that they
What did I
looked at
say?
the cow and said, oh, cow's strong.
They looked at the calf, which is a baby cow.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, we'll take like 5 minutes here.
I see.
I was like,
God, you're so right, Rose. No, that's true, Rose. What you said is correct. And I'm a fucking idiot.
Kenny's
so
stupid.
right.
Kenny's fucking dumb. They don't know what they're talking about.
No, it's okay. This is just a microcosm of my life. If I say something and then it's okay.
What was
it's
that
just...
one thing that happened, Candy, where like I don't remember. It was like a couple months ago where like you were saying something and then I just said the exact same thing. I was like, oh, we should do this. And you were like, like,
I don't know. It happens a lot.
I was gonna say, with time.
I say something with big words, and then somebody's like literally what I said when they look at calves and then said that they get strong, and you said booby milk good. Like it's the same.
What I meant is like you're talking about them getting strong because they're drinking it. But
I
was
love it when I can hear the cogs in Rose's head.
Well, that's all that's in there. There's no brain. So
yeah,
what do you want
it's
from me?
Clinking. I can hear it.
But it's like if you just look at something drinking, like it's like if you see someone drinking milk from a glass, like you're like, oh, they're drinking that. I should drink that. But you're looking at the calf and the results after. I'm just saying they saw someone drinking something. They're like, I'm gonna drink that shit.
Yeah.
It's not
every
about
time
the
I see
calf.
someone drinking milk, I have to have that milk.
Ew.
I tried really hard to not make that worse. I tried not to conjure our friend Basil, who would have said, I feel like I've been hanging out with him so much recently that he eggs me on to say weird things, but then take it a step further that makes people actively maybe want to close their ears.
All I can think about is
dog.
the only thing I can think about when you said that was like the guy from Blizzard who was like taking the milk from the refrigerator.
Yes.
That's all I can think about. So when you were like
ladies' breast milk
at the office.
That's wild.
So like
that's
so like when you were like,
wild.
when I see people drinking milk, I like want to do it too. And I'm like, ew. Like, that's all I can think about. When I see the baby drink mother's milk, I want to drink it.
I don't like this.
Which part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I'm like constantly
22,
baby.
Episode
I'm like constantly
22.
breaking.
22. Dude, 22. This is wild. Quick trivia question. Banters. How many episodes did we record in 2024?
Like 2.
I'm
Do math?
gonna say like 8.
I'm gonna say
Maybe
2.
6.
4?
Maybe 6.
6.
No, it would only be 2,
It's
right?
2 or
3?
4.
Because we started in December, right? Or is it November?
I guess I should be more specific that how many did we post in 2024?
Oh,
Okay.
probably like 2.
1 or 2?
2 or 3.
2?
I probably should have looked this up, but
You don't even know!
no, I'm pretty sure it's 3. I'm pretty sure we posted 3
Oh my
before
God.
we're into 2025. I'm pretty sure it is.
Who hired this guy?
It's
We
me.
didn't
I'm the
hire each other, we
podcast
just showed
ideas
up.
guy. Like, Rose, let me hit you with one. Are you ready?
I'm scared.
If
yes.
tomatoes are technically fruits, does that make ketchup a smoothie?
All of that stuff is subjective, and I've seen these arguments a million times, and they're all technically things, but they could technically be described as anything, so it's really not fair to ask that question. It's just like, how is a hot dog a sandwich? I guess, but it depends on how you define it, so it's really
Well-
about the definition.
I'm going
I
back
see
to the fact
Candy
that
making that
vegetables don't
face.
exist. Go on.
What?
Oh my god.
No.
Well, that
Vegetables
being-
are
What do you
not
mean?
it.
What? How?
You said
This-
this. We had this conversation on the podcast before. Rose.
Vegetables are maybe a culinary term at most, but yeah, we already had this conversation.
Yeah.
Everything that's considered a vegetable is technically something else.
So is a
Okay.
hot dog a sandwich or a rogue taco?
Rogue taco,
Yes, it's
100%.
It's both. It's both.
I
It's a
like
rogue
a
taco.
rogue
It's a little bit
taco.
spicier.
Ooh, I like that though.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Awkward.
I like that.
If someone said I was going to give you a sandwich and they gave me a hot dog, I wouldn't be mad, but I would be confused. And I think the point of communication is to know what I'm getting. So I feel like it's
and I
not
feel
a
like I
sandwich.
wouldn't expect a taco to be a hot dog with a bun.
But we're also in America,
Poison.
and people make really stupid shit.
Yeah, no shit, but like, well, God,
We're in America.
I have so
Candy.
many things
Okay.
to say, and I
I
feel
don't know
like
if you can say that about the country that please let me in.
Please
Not
let
about
me
my favorite country.
in. Yeah, I like my ketchup smoothies like the rest of them. Okay.
Fruity, but not too fruity.
keep ketchup away from me. That shit is disgusting.
I
Ketchup is
learned
so
about how
nasty.
ancient Greece established a
Stop
loose
making jokes when I'm
democracy.
drinking.
Okay.
What does that mean?
I was watching a video about how in ancient Greece they established a democracy to shift away from like the totalitarian control that existed previously to get rid of corruption within the government.
That reminds me of like the thing where it's like men think about like
Yes,
ancient
I was
Rome, like
thinking
once
it
a week.
too.
or something like that.
Yeah,
That's candy.
I think that is candy.
Yeah.
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 I watched too many videos about how the Roman Empire and the Greeks did the politics, and it's interesting because it
think-
mirrors current day politics go on.
I think I'm realizing that I watched the movie 300 as a kid a lot of the time, like a lot, because there was half-naked men in it. I think I'm just realizing that. Dude, those
You
Spartans.
just realizing that?
Yeah, no, it just hit
Wow.
me. I'm like, wow, I watched that movie a lot. It's probably because they're all in just like the equivalent of like thongs and they just have like capes. That's it.
That makes sense. I never really thought about it, but yeah.
That's so cool.
I feel like they were really into fucking men. Go on.
I think that, yeah, isn't that, listen, I don't want to speak for the Spartans, but it wasn't that, I was going to say canon,
happened
but
all the
like,
time.
isn't that like,
Yeah, no.
it was like you're out
Canon?
there, it's just, you know, do what you,
I
Yeah,
don't think
you
it
just-
mattered. I don't think it mattered
brother.
at that point. Like everybody was just doing their own thing. Like I don't
Sure.
think anyone really
yeah, there was
cared.
no like subjections of like society or
Yeah.
any weird like standards or anything. That was just kind of something that happened.
But I'm sure there was like religion,
To a
but I feel
degree.
like with like yeah, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like with that stuff, I mean like I feel like that's not like on their mind all the time.
they had
You know what I mean?
slaves, so I
Candy
think that they did
oh.
have some level of like judgment. There was
Oh,
like
yeah, I'm
caste
sure. I
systems
just-
and things,
I
but
just mean like that, like sexual desire. Like I really don't think a lot of people gave a fuck. Like I think they just like would find it however.
They just found a hole and they went to town.
yeah, that's what
I-
that's what I think.
I think they had the crime of sodomy, but sodomy was just like any sex that was viewed as unnatural by the church, which I think could include like extramarital affairs. Like it was like sodomy. It was like, I don't know. I learned a lot about sodomy for a hot minute, but it's kind of like not with my head right now. I just know that it's This is why Shia is a podcast ideas guy.
And who's ready for the episode 22 activity?
Oh,
Me.
okay, I'm ready.
I am.
Who wants to go to Four Seasons Orlando?
I'm going to run a bunch of things past you guys, and I'm also participating, but you got to let me
Okay.
know. Does this come off
Okay.
as a red flag or a green flag?
Oh,
I
boy.
love
I
that.
got-
Okay.
What about a beige flag? Can I say beige flag?
You can say that
What's a
too.
beige flag?
It's just a middle ground. Like it doesn't matter either way.
Like you
Like
feel
it could
neutral?
be, could
It
not
means
be.
you're
It's
on
kind of
a
like,
zap.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna hit you guys with some scenarios of like a potential suitor. Okay, so
Okay.
is it red, green, beige if they have a spreadsheet for everything, and I mean everything?
Isn't that rose?
No, it's not. I have a couple spreadsheets. Okay, I have one spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I have no spreadsheets.
I have one
Oh.
spreadsheet.
Kenny, how many
and that's
spreadsheets do
it.
you got?
What do you want to know?
Tell us about your secrets, Candy. Tell us
Oh,
about
Tell me
your
about your
secrets.
secrets.
Actually, I recently got into file effects planning and paper planners again. So I have
Oh.
little sheets that I fill out. It's
That's
a little
cool.
scrapbooking technique, the hobby thing for myself to get away from screens.
So
I
Shia,
read a
when you
book
say
today.
for
Okay, sorry, go
when
on.
you say
Yeah,
for
when you say
everything,
everything,
like is it like a spreadsheet like bed routine, like food, like
Everything.
bathroom, like
The routines
That's
in
a
your
red flag.
life. If you're planning a vacation, there's a spreadsheet for it, for their work,
That's
for
hot.
I mean everything.
Red, green flag.
Yeah. I think too, I think that you could go overboard with it and having the conversation of like, hey, let's just see what the day where the day takes us instead of like plotting everything out or having something so meticulously defined rather than just kind of, I don't know. I think it's very
Yeah, I guess it depends if they're using it to
subjective, but
plan
I think it is a
or
green
to
flag.
categorize.
Yeah. I think it's a green flag personally because that I think that takes like an extra bit of preparedness to have that.
so
A bit like the I don't know, just like the go to the drive to do that in general.
okay. So my thing is, if it's literally everything, like their day routine, every single time they go out, every single time they make food, if it's everything, red flag. If it is planning for vacations when you need to pack stuff, if it's maintaining, tracking like on your finances, if it's, having a schedule that you need to follow and a to-do list, that's a green flag. So it really depends
Yeah.
on what everything means.
I think we would
Some
say that.
things are
I don't
good.
think that they would have a spreadsheet for what they're eating that day. Well, maybe they would.
Well, that's what you
actually,
said. You said
because, like,
everything.
I
That's
track what
why.
I eat
That's
every
we'll
why I
say
day.
clar-
everything then. Yeah.
Yeah, I clarify. Yeah, so my thing is, I agree with Rose. I think it's a red flag because I guarantee I would be like, oh, let's go out to eat, and then be like, okay, well, let me check my spreadsheet, and I would just lose my fucking mind. I would lose my mind.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey,
on
there's 90
everything.
cents off at Chili's, so we should go there.
I guess it depends
Like,
on the
I would
level
just
of
lose my mind.
it depends on the level of adherence to the spreadsheet and if it's for
Mhm.
planning or if it's for tracking after the fact.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're kind of a mix on that
Because
one.
I track a lot of stuff.
Here's another one. What is it if they?
Ew.
Jesus, Candy, are you okay?
Oh my God.
Jesus
Jesus Christ.
I coughed so hard that I popped my neck tracker off, so I'm back
Oh
now.
my God.
Oh.
That's like
We're
that's
all
like in
struggling.
hentai when they pop a choker.
Oh my God.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah,
You've never
I've
seen
seen
that?
it.
No,
I've seen
never
that.
seen that. No.
I got you. Don't worry.
Okay,
Anyway, sorry.
go on, Jack.
Okay. What if they don't use social media at all? They just
Smash,
don't
hot,
interact with
Green
it.
flag.
Better for
Never
me,
on it.
but as a VTuber, better for
Smash.
me. Thank God they don't
Mm.
see
That
my
could be
cringe
funny.
ass online. That could be funny.
Mm.
My only. I think. Okay, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna retract that. I'm gonna
I
say
think
beige
beige.
because
Okay.
I think that it could be good, but it also could be bad because if I am so TikTok pilled that I
Yeah.
like reference TikTok all the fucking time, and if they can't keep up with that, that would make me upset.
They
so,
also
like, if I
wouldn't
make
understand anything that you get up to, and that would feel really
Yeah.
alienating.
Yeah, and also like the jokes the joke I just made, like Four Seasons Orlando, like we all knew what that was, so it was really easy for me to be like make the joke. But if I was doing
Mhm.
that with them, and they were like, "What is that? Are you okay?" and I'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah. Because I picture
It's
someone
not-
that doesn't use social media, just comes home and like
What do they
watches
do?
football. I don't know. What do they do? Like just come home, maybe they play original Xbox Halo something with the boys and like that's it. Like that's I don't
Have you
know.
ever seen
It's a
those-
red
speaking of
flag. I
TikTok,
changed my mind.
Have you ever
They don't
seen
need
on
to have an
TikTok? Have you ever
account, but they
seen
need to
those
know it.
those ones where it's like, what do normies do when they come home? And then just like them standing there and just like looking around like an NPC, because they don't play games or anything. So it's like
Green flag. They sound hot. Go on.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Okay.
They don't need to have an account, but they have to understand what the internet is and how
That's
it
like-
works.
I imagine this man would be really into barbecuing and like maybe he just, I don't know. I like that. He's got nothing going on in that.
That
mind
makes
of
sense for
his.
you.
I like
He'd
that.
build you a deck. He'd probably build you. He'd probably be really good with his hands, honestly.
If they can
Yeah.
build stuff, smash. Right,
Okay.
green flag.
Okay. I would
Well,
say
I'm very-
beige.
I'm very different. I
mine's
get
a
that.
beige too, because I can
Yeah.
like
It's
get
like
over
beige
it,
or
but
red,
I think
I
it would
don't
just
know.
be, I don't know. I feel like I would get into the territory of being in a relationship that feels, I don't know. It would just feel like I want to say it's the nicest way possible, but it would feel like normie. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's like, because to me, I'm like, I always think about like those relationships where they're like, oh, my boyfriend like plays like his video games for 3 hours and I have to sit here and do nothing. And then it's like, okay, well, go get a
Yeah.
hobby. Like, I don't know. He has a hobby. Like, you don't. So like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, but to me, I like it when I can like play video games and like do the same things that I like doing with the significant other. So like, I just,
Yeah.
which
I think you could
maybe
still
isn't-
play games and stuff. Mine would just be that the caveat would have to be that they would have to be open to hearing like what I'm experiencing on the internet and just being like, oh man, this just happened. Like, let me tell you about it. But if they were just like, no, I'm not on social media. I don't want to know anything about it. Then like because I couldn't be coerced into not doing social media as well just because they're around.
I wouldn't want to
Right.
have to teach them every single little thing, though. That would be exhausting. Like,
I mean-
every little thing about social media. Like, I don't want to have to explain to them what a tweet is.
This fictional man in my mind is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He is.
I have no idea who
He's
that is.
50s. Little bit. Guy. I don't know. They're hot in my mind. Go on.
Okay. So what is it if they talk to animals like humans?
Green flag.
What do you mean? I do that already. Green flag.
Yeah,
Red
that's
flag.
a green flag.
I'm
What?
saying green.
Okay,
What-
Candy.
Yeah, what, Candy?
What's wrong with that?
What if they were like, hello, where's my rent? You haven't paid the rent yet. Like, what if
Silly.
he's like, you can't
You
keep
pick
coming
them up,
here.
you go,
My
"Where's
family's
my rent,
afraid.
you
And
little
like,
freeloader."
is that how you talk to people? I don't think that's how you talk to
I
people.
talk to people like that.
Who do you talk to like that? Don't say
The
me.
honey
Don't say
buns.
buff. Don't say. Oh, they're not people. They're chat.
Yes, they are.
Damn.
I guess they kind of are animals, but you know, it's a different kind of
They're
breed.
people. Whatever.
Wow.
I've talked to other people like that too, okay? So,
I guess like in my mind, talking to them like they're people is like you expect them to rationalize human emotion and be like, you can't keep jumping on the counter because that's not good for you to do. And the cat's like, meow, and you're like,
Don't take that
That's how I
time
talk-
with me,
but that's
ma'am.
how I
you're
talk.
taking it too
That's
seriously.
literally how I talk to like my cats though, because like
you
they'll
talk
be like
to them
they'll-
like they're babies.
well, no, because literally earlier today, Pee-Pee was like trying to get into the blinds of the thing, and I was like, Pee-Pee, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. And then she like turned around at me. I was like, it's not good for you to be sitting there and almost choking yourself in the blinds. And then she like turned around and just walked away, and I was like, but that to me sounds normal. Is that like not normal?
That's
to,
normal.
like,
No, that's normal. Candy's being
Red flag.
insane. No, green flag. Absolutely green
Okay.
you
flag.
can't do that.
I just
Pee-Pee.
want to be
It's bad.
contrarian at this point, but go on.
How about this one?
I don't care. Beige flag.
What flag is it if they always play the devil's advocate?
Beige.
Smash. Red. Green flag.
Really? Like always?
That's a
I like
red
arguing
flag.
though.
If you came
Nah.
home from work one day,
Ew.
Candy, and you were like, oh my God, this bitch Jessica ruined my entire day. And they were like, well, what if they had a good reason to ruin your day? That's a green smash.
Red
I've
flag
lived
because
through
literally
that. Red flag. I changed my mind.
I don't want a debater. I know. I'm not debating
Oh.
you on every little thing.
Oh.
Screw that.
Not
Ew.
every little thing. Some things, fine.
Gosh.
Debate
no,
is
ew,
fun.
but
but I don't want it to be
Ew,
everything.
Red.
No.
Red. It is a deep red. It's blood. Ew.
Candy, how do you feel?
I like arguing, so
Yours built different, huh,
I
Candy?
I think that as long as I'm open. Okay, first of all, devil's
Mhm.
advocate on everything.
Everything.
Caveat: do they do it just to fuck with you? Because I think it's funny to watch you get annoyed.
They do it because that's the way they operate.
That's just the way they are.
Then that doesn't make any sense to me as a person, but sure. I guess like beige flag, because I do like to be challenged. So
It's like beige with like
it makes
splotches
me
of reds on
develop my opinions at my brain. I feel like if someone just like,
Well, they're not a yes man. They're just being like, let's say, like Shia said, you come over to me and you said, "Oh, I had a really sad day," and then I was just like, "Why? It's perfect outside."
I would
Like,
punch
wouldn't you get
them.
annoyed by
Okay, I
that? Like,
wouldn't.
I would get so annoyed. Like,
I'd be annoyed though, yeah.
Well, don't
Dude,
you think
I'd
you
be like,
have a good
shut up.
reason to be sad today?
yeah, actually, my day was great. So it kind of seems kind of selfish if you're taking that emotion to
Well,
me.
that's not
I had a great
devil's
day.
That's not devil's
Well,
advocate.
that's just you being an
That's being an
asshole.
asshole.
because to me, it's not like every single thing you tell them. Devil's advocate would be like, if you were like, "Oh, this show is the best show ever made," and they'd be like, "Well, like I don't know." I feel like if I can't defend an opinion that I have, then that's because I'm going based off opinions. Because devil's advocate is more opinion based. So
Uh-huh.
I would rather have an in-depth discussion and have a back and forth than just have them be like, "Yes, Candy, you're so right, Candy."
Man.
That's
Well, yeah,
just-
I want that, but that's not playing devil's advocate with everything. And that's why I'm like, that could
yeah,
be a
but
red
this is like the
flag.
spreadsheet thing with Brett, like say having a spreadsheet for everything. It's like the same, like what is your everything is different
I'm
than my
too
everything.
neurodivergent for this shit.
Yes.
Dude.
All right,
as-
fine.
as-
I'll say red flag to being devil's advocate.
As soon as Buff said, like, a debater, I had flashbacks. I've only known one, like, real true debater that used to work at one of my jobs, and insufferable. Absolutely. No one wanted to be around the guy. Long story short, he actually got fired because he tried to debate his way out of doing work, but would often coerce other coworkers to come over and debate him. Like one time, he was just like younger guy, doesn't have any children, just a girlfriend, like whatever. And one time he wanted to debate an older coworker of mine who is the sweetest guy in the world, has children and everything, very important. He wanted to debate whether or not it's okay to spank your children to this my coworker who has children, and my coworker, who is the sweetest guy in the world, I love him so much, miss him. I've never seen him angry. That actually scared me. I was like, I've never seen this man angry. He walked away, and the debater guy went, well, I was really looking forward to debate that. Anyway, so he
Ew.
lost his job anyways.
I hate them.
With that attitude, oh my God.
Gross.
That is my
That's
only
so
interaction with
nasty.
someone that truly wants to debate people and like audibly like makes it known. He drove me nuts. I couldn't. There's no way.
Yeah, ew.
Yeah, gross.
I hate that.
Yeah, I
God.
don't like that.
Red
I hate
flag.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Is it a red flag if they overuse emojis?
Yes. Red flag.
Like,
Oh.
overuse in what sense?
Like those
so
copy
like
pastas
you
where it's like
get
Santa Claus is coming to town and they're like the tongue out emoji and like a Christmas emoji between every other
Oh.
fucking word.
Like,
Yep.
you can't read the sentence because there's so many emojis in the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Red
and they like they
flag.
always sprinkle in like all kinds all the time.
Red
Imagine
all the
flag,
time.
sexting
red
with that.
flag.
What?
Ew.
What?
No.
Imagine
Sexting with that, like,
sexting
Santa's
with
come to
that.
town. Like, it's just like this fucking block
I
of,
like get on my
emojis.
knees and it's like a kneeling
I get on my
emoji
knees and
and
it's like,
I would block them. I
I
would
get on
block
my
them
knees.
immediately.
Gosh.
Red flag.
holy crap.
Red.
Actually, maybe
So
no.
red. Crimson red.
Flag, red flag.
I would
No.
say that it's a red flag too, because I think that it leaves a lot to be desired in communication when it's just default to using emojis. Like, and only
Yeah.
emojis. And like what if I do something and like I would expect them to be really excited for me about it and they send me the normal 30 happy faces? Do I know if they're happy for me or really happy? I don't know. They always do that. So like I know that they're at least like baseline happy, but like, where's that? I don't like it. I don't like it.
Can I
No,
add a
one
flip on
flag
that?
is fine. Yeah.
Flip me, Candy. Flip me over.
Someone that types with perfect punctuation at all times.
That just feels like they're
And, like, perfect.
mean.
Okay. Like
I
as in
try to.
always capitalizes, like does like full stops and everything.
I
all
try
the
to
time.
do
They
that.
need to include emojis with it a little bit.
No, whenever they do that, I feel like they're angry at me.
Hmm
It's just so dry. I'm like, you're just either
Same
you don't
thing
like
as when-
fun or you're upset.
Do you guys interpret it as someone being mad if they type in all lowercase and use periods at the end of their sentence when they don't usually type like that? Because
Yes.
I do. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
glad
if they
it's not
don't
just me
usually
then.
type like that, yes. If they always
Yes.
type like that, I mean, that's just kind of them. Like,
Yeah.
but if they don't,
Different
if they
typing
change
patterns.
it up, yeah, you can tell. I think as people, I mean, you can tell when things are wrong. So like if somebody's typing in a weird way,
Yeah.
like you can tell. Like I think people think that they're like, well, I'm a little upset, so like I'll type this way. They won't even know or whatever. But like we're not. I mean, humans are like social creatures. They're not fucking stupid. Like they understand that like you changing your texting tone is gonna like make the tone shift of the conversation change.
Yeah.
I also feel like when you text from your phone, it'll autocorrect stuff to be like capitalized and punctuated and whatever. So
Even
like
that
there's
I
also
mash.
yeah, but like I just mean that like the tone difference between like typing on PC and then mobile, like there's like so it kind of naturally
Yeah.
varies. So making
Yeah,
the
yeah.
intentional decision to do it at all times, wild.
Red flag.
Red.
Candy.
You wanna be so
I
contrarian.
could
I
see
knew
the
it.
wheels turning.
I wouldn't be able to tell like what they're feeling, and that would kind of stress me out. So red.
Yeah.
Do you think that it would be a red flag if they correct your grammar in texts?
Yes.
Yes.
Red flag.
Yeah.
Because I don't give
Absolutely
a fuck
red
how I
flag.
type and talk. I don't care. My job does
Yeah.
not require it. I don't care.
If the
Okay.
point has been made, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Unless they're making like a million typos to the point that I literally can't tell what they're saying, in which case I'm gonna be like, are you drunk? But
Yeah.
outside of that, no.
I think if my job required it, like I think I'd be a little bit more critical about how the way I'm typing, but because my job does not require it, I don't care. Like I don't need to worry about it.
Red flag, it's condescending.
Yeah. Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that.
Mm.
Yeah. It's funny. I was just looking on my list here and I have one that says, is it a red flag if they love debating for fun? That was literally what I had written
Yes.
down here. But
Green flag.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Ew.
of course.
Beige.
Is it a red flag if they wear socks to bed?
Nah.
Yes.
You have orgasms more easily if you wear socks.
Because
Candy.
if your feet are warmer, it becomes easier to orgasm. No,
Yeah.
Candy's right.
And next, you're going to tell me that if I raw dog in jeans whenever I sleep, I'm more susceptible to getting wet dreams.
Watch that.
Raw dog.
Because
No one ever said
of,
that.
like, like no underwear.
Are you already
That's not
circumcised?
what raw dogging is.
Whoa. Okay.
Because you will be if you sleep in jeans.
Whoa.
It'll friction itself off.
Oh my god.
I mean, every time I file my taxes, I always have my socks on, so I guess it makes sense.
Always?
Every
Yeah,
time?
I think so.
Man, I missed that.
I think so.
I
I
think
think
it
so.
varies for me when I file my taxes.
Most 90 out of 10, 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. So wait, what was the question?
I think Candy was asking me if I was circumcised.
Red flag. No,
Is it a red
wearing
flag
socks to
if a
bed.
man is...
What the fuck? No.
What was the actual question though? It was like,
If you wear socks to bed, is
To
that
bed?
a red flag?
I mean-
yeah, that's it.
No, that's a beige
I mean,
flag.
I don't want
give
the
a
little
fuck. Be
fluffies
comfy.
in bed. Like, I don't know.
Didn't you just say that you wear socks when you do your taxes?
That's yeah, but that's what? Okay, so first of all, I get upset when I'm not naked in bed. Like I'm like I just
Yeah.
don't understand. I don't
You're so
understand when
based.
people like get into bed and then they like have clothes on. I'm like, take your clothes off.
Like flannel pajamas is like a death sentence to
Yes.
me. Icky.
Yeah, I like don't get it. So like when I think of
I don't
socks in bed,
either.
I'm like, ew.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my feet
it's
get
so-
cold, so sometimes I wear socks.
It's a beige flag, but I'm very disappointed.
My feet
It's
get
like,
cold,
I'm
but
like-
I run on the spot in bed.
Like you're just like wiggling your
Yeah, I just
What the fuck?
You never done that? To like
No.
You never just Buffy.
I'll
get it.
usually like
I get
burrito
it.
them up in a blanket, just try and toast them up.
Yeah, I also have in a blanket, but I'm like under the blanket, like running
Again,
on the spot.
Like
beige
more
flag, but I'm
burrito.
disappointed. Beige flag, but I'm like, ew.
It's a beige flag. I feel no way about it.
I feel like wearing socks all day and then you take them off when you get into bed is orgasmic. So I will not deprive
Well, and
myself of
also
that
like
experience.
you were like
Yeah.
wearing your socks all day and all sweaty and gross, and you get in the bed to them.
Oh,
Ew,
no.
I just don't.
Sweaty
That's a red
gross.
flag.
Mm.
But if
Yeah,
you
but
put on
that's what I
socks
think,
because your
but I
feet
don't
are
care,
cold
Rose, about the
after you're in
context.
bed, that's fine.
Yeah, but I don't care about the context though. In my eyes, that's what you're doing with your feet all the time. Like if your feet are in socks, they're probably sweating to some capacity, and you're putting them in bed. So I don't.
Well, yeah.
Ew.
The reason
Beige
it's
flag,
beige
I'm
for me is
disappointed.
because it's like, if your feet are cold, what the fuck else are you supposed to do?
Put them in a blanket.
What if that's not enough?
Suck it up, Buttercup. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not gonna.
I'll
suck
cradle
it
them
up.
in my boobies for you.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll call you next time.
My boobs
then,
are pretty
okay?
warm, so.
The
Yeah,
answer's no,
alright.
by the way, Candy.
What? Oh.
So
Well,
do
you
you
will
guys do you
I'm gonna
think
get ya.
Did you really say, oops, got your
At
foreskin?
what
Is that what your
mile
guess is?
marker? At
Do you know
what
what that
mile
reminds me?
marker
It's
do
like
we
the
do
nose,
on
the nose
VchiBan?
thing, where it's like I got your nose, but it's like Candy with Shia's
Got
foreskin.
your foreskin.
No,
Got it. And
give it back.
You want these nerve endings back?
I don't even want to make a joke that, like, if we hit the 100th episode, that's the day that, like, we do, like, a live circumcision or something.
Whoa.
It wouldn't be a joke because it would be a promise.
It would. Well, I'm not even going to make that promise.
Don't do
do
that.
I'm here to interrupt you with a cool ad. Have you guys ever heard of GamerSupps? I don't know if you guys know, but I have my own cup, which is not out anymore. I already sold it already. It's already gone. But however, there's a bunch of cups and a whole bunch of flavors of your other favorite content creators. GamerSupps is super awesome. It is a keto-friendly drink, and it has a lot of caffeine, or no caffeine if you don't want any. And I truly appreciate them for supporting us. Also, sometimes we do merch with GamerSupps, as you can see here with my cup. Look how cool my cup is. If you use code VchiBan, you get 10% at checkout, which is super dope and super awesome, and it helps out the podcast. So guys, go get your GamerSupps today.
Do you guys think that it's a red flag if they cannot stop quoting movies or TV shows in conversation?
Yes. Beige leaning on red. I find that annoying.
Yeah, but I do that with TikTok. Does it bother you?
No, because you do it once
Oh.
in a blue moon. It's not constant. And
I just
also,
feel-
I don't know those references, so it just sounds like random cool shit you say.
Yeah, it could be. And for Candy, it could be a guy that comes
Poggers.
up and goes, "Hey, Morty, like, oh, you like this candy?" And they just like
So you're saying
constant.
Candy.
Oh my god, I've definitely
I would
had.
dry up so fast.
I don't remember the context, but I feel like somebody did that to me at a con, unless I'm
It was me.
imagining it. But like somebody came up and they're like, "Oh, yeah, I heard you like Rick and Morty. Like I can do the Rick voice." I feel I don't know if this is like a nightmare that I had or if it actually
A
happened.
nightmare.
That sounds
trying
like a nightmare.
Night-
I'm
nightmare
trying
that
to
I had.
remember. I feel like this has happened to me where someone tried to impress me by doing an impression and I didn't know what to do. But this could have just
Anytime
been a
someone
dream.
does that, I just feel like I have to react politely, and then I'm just so focused on how I'm going to respond that I can't enjoy it.
Candy, next time someone does that to you, you should just say, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm
No.
good.
No, thank you.
Stop.
Oh my god.
No, don't. That'd be so sad. It'd be so sad.
That's so
Thank you for
fucked up.
coming to meet me. Stop. Your time is up. Goodbye.
Oh my god.
That's so sad.
Have a little like hourglass that I tip, and then like when it's done, you're out.
Just like, time's up.
You've had your time.
That's so fucked.
Remember that one time that someone proposed at our meet and greet?
Yes.
That was so
Yeah.
Isn't that
cute. That was
wild?
so cute.
Oh my god, this reminds me. The person that asked about the files, I'm pretty sure it's on your laptop or your laptop, buffer Shia. I still need those files.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to remind
If
me.
you're listening,
at
person that
some
got
point
proposed
because-
to, I forgot to ask until now. But I asked now.
Oh,
How
okay.
long has it been?
They DM'd me like a week or two ago, and I said I would ask,
Oh,
but you
okay.
guys were on a little trip. And so I was like,
I was scared. I was like, this
Ask
happened
Bella.
months ago.
oh no,
That was
they
a
asked,
while
and then I
ago.
said, oh, I need to go look for it. And then I never found it, and then I forgot to tell them, and then I forgot all about it, and then they DM me again, and I was like, oh shit.
Whoops.
I asked now, though.
I think the movie quote thing is a beige flag.
Yeah.
Depends on
Too
what
much and is
they're
annoying as
quoting.
fuck.
It also depends if they're sincerely quoting it and if it's Fight Club and they're quoting Fight Club, because it depends on the angle of it. If they acknowledge that it's a homoerotic breakdown of male relationships, okay. But if they think it's like alpha wolf, like bad bitch boss stuff, not so much.
Wait, why?
know?
You don't like that? I'm an alpha wolf, princess. You don't like it when I talk about that?
Shoot. Did you know that I'm pretty sure the screenplay and the director for American Psycho was a woman, and then all of the like male like peak male physique and influencer shit is like based on something that was made for the female gaze, basically.
Oh. If so, I like it, princess.
Yeah.
Huh.
For me, I'm gonna say beige. Well, we
Okay.
got the
Yeah.
flags down. Beige. Right here.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
because it also
It's like a
depends what they're
pinkish
quoting.
beige.
If they only quote like Shrek 2, then maybe we could talk. Go on.
Yeah.
If they do it every conversation, I'm gonna get annoyed really fast.
Shit, Shia,
I'm
what's
gonna
yours?
suck their dick. Go on, next question.
What?
Someone clip that, please. Make it audio. Wait, what's your flag color?
I would say beige because it depends. Like there's time and place, especially with whatever they're quoting. If it's like too much, or if it's just weird, it's like I don't know. I feel like you wouldn't get like that far on like the first or second date if you're already picking that vibe that they're constantly just dropping stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rose. What if it's like that person in my chat who is like, oh, I was role playing this whole time, you didn't know, and like the whole time they're quoting movies, but it's like innocuous lines, like, yeah, I feel pretty good, and
That's
it's
a
like I
red
was actually
flag.
quoting like Little Miss Sunshine, You're like what?
No,
Like,
red flag.
I don't know.
Absolute red crimson flag. No, that's so annoying.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Muscadia complex. Next one.
They say they quote don't do drama.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Everyone
Yeah.
who says that and says it all cute like and shit is full of shit.
This is my argument. Okay, with that in particular. Anyone I've ever met in my entire life who's like, I don't like drama. I want to be nice to everybody. That's the shit starter, 100%.
Oh,
That
every
is the
time,
person
yeah.
that shit starts every time, every fucking time.
Mhm.
I need somebody that's a realist and sits there and like calls shit out when it's bad. Like that's what I need. And for them, non-confrontational people make me frustrated. It frustrates me.
Mhm.
I get frustrated.
I agree
Yeah,
because
I
I
learned
think
to
that they're
confront you and it made it better.
Yeah. Well, I just think that like I think the word confrontation, I think people just automatically assume that like you're gonna fight each other. And like in my mind, when I think of confrontation, it's more of like oh, you're disagreeing with something that someone else did. Like it's just like
Yeah.
so, which to me is like not a bad thing. That's just like that's what people do. So like when I think of confrontation, I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. So when people are like, I don't like drama and I don't want to be a part of it or whatever, it to me is like, okay, so you just don't care. You don't
No, that
care
makes
enough about the
sense.
situation to like confront the issue.
I agree with
And
that. I think
that's
for
a
me,
red flag.
that is, but I think that for me, I initially, at times in my life, would try to confront certain people, and then it would end very badly. And so for me, I had to learn how to be confrontational all over again so that I could communicate about stuff properly without being
Yeah,
scared
but
of
also,
people.
I think you're on that scale where, like, because you're so non-confrontational, even like 0.1% confrontational, you're like, whoa, I didn't mean to be so rude. And you're like, girl, you didn't
Yes.
even say shit. Like, you didn't say
Yes,
anything.
absolutely. But I'm
So,
working on
yeah.
it, and I'm learning.
Yeah, it's fine.
I also think that like sometimes when you're so non-confrontational, it actually makes an issue. It makes the issue worse. Like it makes it makes it confrontational because you're so not confrontational.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
it
it's
feels like you're
like-
dodging
because
it
You
at
just
that
harbor
point.
resentment.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like you could fix the issue in like 2 seconds and then
Yep.
but instead you just decide, oh, well, I'm just not going to be drama. Like I'm just going to not be confrontational and like I don't want drama in my life or whatever. But then like it ends up making drama in your life and makes it an issue and you're like, I don't understand why this happened. And it's like,
You could have talked about it. Exactly, yeah.
I'll put the
I
mirror
agree.
in front of you and then
Yeah.
yeah. So red flag, very red
Yep.
Yeah.
on my part
Yeah,
of my table.
that's red
and
for
they're
me as well.
red.
I mean, you basically said what I was going to say with it. If it's just like hypothetically, if there's like an issue going on and you could solve that issue by just having a conversation or doing something to stop it, but you're like, nah, I'm not going to do that because I don't do drama, or just in I don't know, or just kind of like implying that it would be drama filled or something, just because you just don't want to go out of
Yeah.
your way to even be slightly bothered, like just because it takes a little bit of extra energy to fix that problem, if not for yourself, maybe for someone else. And I'm totally not pulling this from personal situations that have happened in the past. Then I think that says a lot more about the person's character than it would be for
Agreed. No, I
someone
agree
that
completely.
would take that step to be like, hey, let's
Yeah.
solve this.
And also me personally, like I automatically trust you a little bit more if I hear you being more like, if someone said like
Outspoken.
something mean to you. Well, if someone said something mean to you and you're just like, oh, haha, yeah. And like you didn't like say like, no, fuck you. Like I don't want any of that. Like I feel like someone who is more apt to not confront and just be like, oh yeah, like whatever. Like I automatically just don't trust you. Cause I'm like, if we ever had an issue or if something happened, like I can't come to you about the issue because you wouldn't be able to handle it. So like I automatically already have this underlining like I don't trust you. Like I'm like
that makes sense, and I agree with that.
so red flag.
Yeah, I agree. Red flag.
I agree.
Red flag.
Candy? Red flag.
No.
I have no thoughts because if I say anything, it's going to be too much.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Candy, don't talk on the podcast.
Okay.
Dude,
Candy,
I'm, like,
do you
breaking
think?
I don't do
today.
drama shy, so go on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, perfect. Well, okay. Well, maybe you can answer this next one then first. Do you think it's a red flag if they always show up late, but they don't care?
Yes,
Like they're
that's a red
always late,
flag.
but they just could not give a hoot to show up on
How
time.
late?
I don't care how late. That's fucking rude.
I think it ranges anywhere from a couple minutes to like a half an hour to an hour. Like it could be anywhere
No.
from. They are always
Red
late.
flag.
They're always late.
No, red flag.
But they don't care,
If you don't
and
have
they don't-
consideration for my time, you don't can have consideration for me. No, red flag.
True. Red.
Green flag. I don't want to see him anyway, so I get to hang out with that dude a little bit more. I'm gonna sit on my phone and eat a little croissant to myself. And
It's
chill.
hard because
Mm.
sometimes like okay, I know that some people struggle with time management.
It's like
So like
not
I
a
don't want to be
green
too
flag.
harsh. I don't want to be too harsh on it because I know that some people struggle with that. But if it's like an hour and you're like you literally like so far off the mark, that's when I start getting annoyed. And it's every single
Yeah.
time. Like
Mm.
that's where I start getting annoyed because I feel like with people with time management issues, like everyone that I've known that has time management issues that don't have them solved or a system for it, they're always like 5-10 minutes late. Like it's not like crazy. Like it's always just like
I'm Australian.
that's
If it's just 5 to 10 minutes once in a while, that's fine.
I thought you
However,
were non-binary.
Not according to my wiki. There's
But yeah,
not
they-
constantly, but they keep making me fucking female and then they're
but
not by female.
hold on, sorry, Rose. Just to go on that topic, just real quick. Okay,
Oh, boy.
I think it's perfect because you said you're non-binary and they're just gender floating you the entire time. So like they'll go back to like
That makes sense.
non-binary and then they'll be like female and then non-binary and then female. They'll change it like every week. So like it kind of fits.
yeah.
Eh.
Okay, my issue is if you're gonna be late every time, and the fact that you don't care, if you have time management issues, that's fine. Communicate about it. Say, hey, I'm
Yeah.
running a little late, and then that's fine. But if
I
you don't
almost feel like-
communicate about it, fuck off. That's fucking rude.
But the second
feel like
half
I
of that was that they
Yeah,
didn't
sure.
care.
They don't care. So
Yeah.
it's red flag.
Then I stand by red flag.
I would
Because if they
find
don't
it
care, they're not
more
gonna
annoying
apologize.
if they apologize to me every time, but they were late every time because then they're just being disingenuous.
Because
So
they
if they're
know.
just
That would
yeah.
annoy me
Because
too.
if they're just, because because if they're late all the time and I know they're always going to be late, then I'll just fucking be
Yeah.
late. I don't give a fuck. Like I'm gonna say
I
beige
get to a
flag.
point I
It's
tell
not a
them
red
earlier.
flag, not a green flag. It's like a beige flag.
It's a
For me, it's
beige or
red
red
because
flag,
I'm
but
very-
it's red.
I'm very anal about being on time. Like I really just want to be on time all the time. Other than my stream, my stream I'm kind of lax with it because I'm like whatever because I'm like 2 or 3 minutes because sometimes I like to pet my cats and I'm like haha, I love you. But like when it comes to like appointments and stuff, like I'm like I know what time I'm gonna be there. I know how long it's gonna take me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the
So-
same way with streams because I also end up like streaming late anyway. So I feel like the amount of time's still going to be there. So as long as I start at like a general average time, whatever. But like appointments, like you said, or like if we're planning to hang out and we have a specific time we need to leave or something, like I'm going to be real anal about that
Eh.
shit.
I'm the most flippant, but beige.
I'll say
I
beige.
deal with it.
If they're real
If
hot
they
and have a lot
cared,
of
it would
money,
be
then it's like
beige.
they do whatever they want.
Okay.
No.
Well, that was a
if
part
they
of the
cared, it would be
description.
beige. If,
I'm
it-
just
if
saying,
they
that's
don't
why
care,
mine's
it's
beige.
red.
No, Rose, if no. Because if they were late all the time and they cared, but they never changed their behavior, that's worse to me than them being like late all the time and then just being like, you know, it is what it is. It's like,
Because they
yeah,
don't care
true.
enough to change the behavior.
It is what it is.
So,
But they care. They're like basically lying to you because they obviously think it's basically like an not an oxymoron, but like they
I
can't.
don't agree with you.
What?
I don't agree with you.
The action is the same. Yeah.
Because, hear me out. If someone
Uh-huh.
cares, at least they are probably putting in an effort. At least they are conscious of it. At least, you know, they're like, I'm sorry. I know I keep doing this. I'll try to be better. And eventually they will hopefully
They're just
fix it.
lying to you.
Rose low-key likes getting manipulated.
That's just lying. They're just lying. Them
That's all I'm
saying,
hearing
them
right now.
saying,
That's
I'm
all I'm
sorry that I'm
hearing.
sorry that I'm
No.
late all the time. I'm
Because
going to
the
try to
thing
fix it. And then they
if you-
keep being late all the
If
time.
you care, if you really care, you will eventually fix it.
That's
No,
what Candy's saying. That's
yes,
what Candy's saying.
But the thing is that the concept is that like that they that they don't care
don't.
and they're not going to change.
Then
It's
they
they
don't
don't
a red
care,
flag
and it's
still,
still a
but-
red flag, and I stick by
That's
that.
fine. But your scenario is that they are late all the time and then you're saying you can fix them in your scenario.
Oh, no. If they are late forever and they never change and they apologize, that's just as bad.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, I agree with that. I would say that like whether they or not they apologize is whatever. Yeah.
No. If they make an effort to change and work on it and potentially fix it, fine. Annoying. And I'll have a certain line where I'll get sick of it and I'll be like, go the fuck away. But I would have more leeway with that until I got to that point. But if they just didn't care, I would have a much shorter leash on it.
I think it's good for me because then I get to factor in reading time while I'm waiting for them. I could wait like
I shouldn't have
get,
to
like,
factor that in.
get like half an hour in, get like an hour in. Like I'm
Okay,
chilling.
Cool.
If I have something to do with someone and it's in the middle of the day, I feel like I can't do shit until I get home because I'm too busy being worried about being on time and being there and like being ready.
I'll never be late. Huge.
Yeah, but how are you going
I'm
to
the
deal with that
problem.
when it's an activity where you both have to be there at the same time? Like, you don't have time for reading. Like, you have to
I'd
be
be so
there.
pissed.
Like, someone is giving birth, or there is something that is happening that is so urgent where it's just like you have to be there for it.
That's
And they're
their
just
problem,
late.
not mine. I'm not
Red
culpable for
flag,
them.
red flag, red
What
flag.
if you need a blood infusion and you need their blood, but they were just late? Whatever.
Well,
Guess you
Kenny's like,
die.
well, I'll be dead, so it
Guess you
doesn't
die.
matter.
Yeah.
guess I'll die.
But they actually
all
they didn't care. They didn't care the whole time. It's fine. If I'm already in the scenario, it's a beige flag. It's fine. I'll work through it.
It's red.
Okay, red for me.
Oh.
Try
Okay.
you.
Me?
Yeah.
Beige. I mean, if they're hot and have a lot of money, they can do whatever they want.
Okay.
I don't care. I don't care.
Okay.
Whatever sugar daddy wants. Whatever sugar mommy wants.
Guess I'm not
Are you
hot then, 'cause he gets
serious?
pissed off every time
Whatever
we're late. So.
sugar envy wants.
No.
Whatever they
Are you
want.
for real?
Candy heard that.
Whatever my little glucose guardian wants.
Shia,
It's okay. I'll be sad.
Yeah, what's up?
are you serious?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You would just let them walk all over you and be late as fuck all the time if they were
If
rich.
they're hot and have money, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'd let them do a lot more than that.
Guess I'm hot. I guess I'm ugly and poor
Okay, listen.
because it's not the reality. So I guess I'm ugly and poor.
Should we go?
It's a beige flag. How about? Oh, I have like a handful here. What if?
Let's hear.
What if they? What is the flag if they are still like you're kind of like getting along with them, but they are still very close with their ex's family? It's like a thinker to be
Are
like.
they close with their ex?
No, not so much, but maybe if they needed advice or something, they would go to like their family, or needed help with something, they would still go to their ex's family.
I don't think
I
it
think
would bother
it
me
would-
because as someone who doesn't have a family, sometimes you have to find family somewhere else. So like with
Mm.
me, like I
Uh-huh.
feel like as long as like the ex isn't involved or whatever, and you guys don't talk about them, and they're just like there to give like parent advice or whatever, like to me that doesn't really feel like a bad thing because that's like a relationship that you guys kind of bonded over, I guess.
That makes
So, I
sense.
would
Flex
say
on
it's
the
a beige-
ex-girlfriend. Go on. Or the
What?
ex-partner.
What?
I'd flex on
Oh.
the ex-partner about how hot and smart and sexy and good I am as a partner.
I think
I make
it's a
them
beige
have a
flag.
complex.
I think it's a beige flag because I think it would complicate things in some aspects, and you would have to have a really trusting partner to understand it.
Mhm.
So I think
I was
it's a
gonna say
beige
something
flag.
similar. Yeah, because it's beige because like it depends on so many other factors. Like what kind of relationship did you have with the ex? What terms did you break up on? Like, do they still have interest in you? Do you still have interest in them? Do they try and like hit on you every time they see you? Blah blah blah. Like,
Well, because
is
my
that
thing is
gonna
like,
impact how you are with those family
Like, let's
members,
say, like,
etc.?
because in my brain, because I'm like, you and your ex, like, impossible to get back together. Like, let's say hypothetically, like, your ex turned out to be gay or something like that. Like, you guys are, it's impossible you guys are getting back together. So, like, if you have a
Then I don't
family,
give a fuck at that point.
you're taking it to literal. I'm just an example. So when it's like, if that's the example, right? Like, I
Yeah.
see the reality of like me being friends with their parents, like, isn't going to affect anything. Like, it's not going to like,
That makes sense.
you know what I mean? So like, that's how I see it.
Here's a question though: do you think that it's cool to be friends with exes?
No.
I do have
What about
another
really
one
so?
here that says they happen to have an ex who just, quote, happens to just be around a lot.
No, I
I'm
don't like
friends
that.
with some of my exes. Not like super
No.
close friends, but like I say hi to them once in a while.
That was that, but that's not. That's that's like incidental. Like you have. Like,
that's not being friends. Being friends is different. I feel like being friends is like you're talking like once a week or like you're like hanging out and like stuff.
Yeah.
That's being friends. You're an
like
acquaintance
they're hanging
at that
out.
point.
I would say hanging out like 2 to 3 times a week playing games and stuff and like being
that's a
cool.
friend.
Mhm.
Like,
I think
like to the point that they would hang out with the ex and like be like, oh, I'm hanging out with the boys, and also their ex is there, and like whatever.
Yeah, that's a friend. I don't see myself doing that. No, and I don't like that. Because, like, they're still around. Like, because, like, in Rose's situation, like, that's an acquaintance. Like, that's like me saying someone to hide
I
the
guess
grocery
that's
store.
true.
Like, you know what I mean? So, like, to me,
Well,
I'm
some
like,
of them I talk to once in a while, like once a month or something.
yeah, but
Mm.
that's not I don't know. Maybe my definition of friend is different.
I just like knowing what happened. I feel like it makes me I get nosy. I'm like, where are you now? What happened?
Oh,
to
bro, I hope. Well, actually, for legal reasons, I'm going to finish that thought. But I hope my exes are all in a lovely place,
I hope my exes are
full
having a
of
good time.
joy.
Yeah.
Makes me think of that TikTok where
I
it's just
can't
like,
say anything about this.
I love everyone except for the people I hate. I wish they're dead, and I wish that all my
Dead.
enemies are gone,
Are
away
dead.
forever. It's just like a voiceover that's abruptly loud. It's just.
I'm not
No,
going to
I
say
don't
anything
like-
on this topic.
I'm not like, I personally don't hate any of my exes. I think they're all fine. I just don't
I hate
want
one
them
of them.
in.
Not
I
the most
just
recent one.
don't
He was
want.
nice.
I don't want any of them in my perspective of reality. Like, not in like a bad way. I'm just like, my life is so different compared to then. So like, it just feels like a different lifetime. Like, I'm like, I don't need that, if that makes sense. So
That makes sense.
Oh, that's valid. Yeah.
yeah. So I would
I-
say beige.
Yeah, go on.
It's a beige
Yeah,
flag.
beige
It's like
flag.
not for me, but if someone else says it, whatever.
I get that. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, it's all like also like what Buff said, where it's like, why did they break up? Like, for example, as their example, one of them ended up realizing their sexuality didn't match up, so it was more of like an incompatibility
Yeah,
on like,
yeah.
a level that's not able to change. But like,
Yeah.
dude, I would be so pissed if like I had a partner and they're like, "Yeah, I'm just hanging out with my ex, like it's whatever," and then they end up,
Yeah, I'd be so annoyed.
Oh, that would annoy me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's the situation. So that's why it's a beige flag. Because like for me, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
For someone else, sometimes that works for people, and it's
Red
like kind
flag.
of their own.
I want the ex to feel bad about themselves. Go on.
Let me give you like one, maybe two more. How about
Okay.
they dislike surprises, even good ones?
So candy.
So candy.
So candy.
Red flag.
Mm.
I got told at 4
You're a red
a.m.
flag.
that I was going somewhere and I had to get in the car and I wasn't told where I was going and I just started crying and I was just a hungry
Yeah, but I
Jax.
surprised you before candy, and you never got upset about it.
It's a beige
So
flag.
I think it depends on who it is. I feel like for you, because I surprised you one time we were in person. I don't remember what it was for. It was for something. I told you like we're going somewhere, and you're like, "Oh, okay, I trust you." I remember that's literally exactly what you said. So
Yeah.
I think it depends on the person for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beige flag. Because I
They
like
gotta
giving people
know
like little
me.
surprise presents and stuff. But like, I also wouldn't book a trip without telling them because that's a bit much.
Yeah, who would do that?
It was Strippin's fault. And we talked about it and we agreed that was a bad thing to do.
Uh,
Anyway.
I'd
I'm
say
gonna say
beige,
beige
too.
flag.
yeah, I think
beige flag.
Depends
I
on
think
there's
it's-
the
yeah.
context around it.
I think there's like a time and place for things. So
Mhm.
want
Okay,
another
all
one.
right, wait. One final one.
Pick a juicy one.
Ooh.
Divisive.
I don't know how juicy it is, but there's one here that's
Oh.
they insist on always paying for everything.
Green flag. Smash.
green flag, smash. You give me a little sugar daddy, sugar mama. I don't care.
My little glucose
Thanks.
guardian.
I feel like that's a beige flag because I want to
Thanks.
be able to take care of my damn self sometimes. And
Nah.
I want to treat them
Nah.
sometimes.
Treat them in
I think
different
that
ways.
you
like
would
a-
have to do that with like a prearranged thing that you
Oh,
already paid for and
shit.
did, and you're like, here it is. But otherwise, they would just pay for everything.
No, I think sometimes people's jobs and life situations are different. Sometimes other partners have like really, really incredible jobs, and the other person has kind of like a like whatever job. So like it's just like the arrangement that is. So
Yeah,
to me,
I
I'm
just
like
feel like-
whatever.
I don't know. I don't want someone to pay for me all the time, but I also don't want to pay for someone else all the time either. Like I want it to be a little
Mm.
bit of both.
Yeah,
I want a cutty little 50s housewife dress. And I want to sit at
I
home
want
and smoke
that.
a cigarette.
Oh, I don't want
And think
that.
about my life. And
don't
say,
want that
part.
I
Buys
loved
me
you
everything.
once, as they pay for all the bills.
You'll get that
I
thing
love
you
it.
like.
boy.
You'll get that thing you like if you buy me dinner.
I'll do the butt stuff. That's right.
Oh, that's sad.
Tonight, the other holes on the
Bunch
menu.
You choose.
Dinner's gonna be awesome tonight.
Tonight, desserts in the bedroom.
You good, Rice?
That's it. That's all I got.
That's it.
For
That's
episode
it.
22, baby.
22.
22. You okay, Rice? What happened? 22? What are you saying?
I'm good.
22.
No, I'm not sad. That was spicy.
22.
22.
22.
22.
Guys. Thanks for coming.
Days.
Thanks for hanging out with us on the podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Check
I'm
out our
still thinking
socials.
about it.
Check out everything. Go check out our Vansley page. Do all that. Appreciate you. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.